Hey YouTube. A couple of years ago I done like a 2 or 3 part series on this Murray mower. I called it 97 Murray Mower Resurrection. I ran out of money and I ran into some issues with the motor and I just kind of put it away. And now we're back on it. But before I tell you all that we've done, I've got to give y'all a brief recap on why I had to stop using it and what we done and all that. So hang on just a second. Okay, YouTube, when I was using this mower, my friend, well, he's not a friend of the family anymore. We've all distanced ourselves from the guy, but the fella wanted me to help him cut his mother's grass. I'm sorry if y'all can't see me, but so we loaded the mower up with this motor. This motor was on the mower at the time. We loaded it up, and we drove it all the way out there, which is about 8 miles or so. And we, offloaded it, and I went to start it, and it wouldn't start. I figured that it was probably flooded, and it was hot out that day, and I wasn't thinking good. So I pulled the plug out, and for some reason, I plugged the plug into the coil, and I grounded it on the motor. And when I went to spin it over, all that old gas and fumes and whatnot in the motor shot out of there from, the piston moving. And the plug ignited, and I set the thing on fire. We got the fire out before it absolutely ruined the mower, but it was still damaged and I couldn't use it. Well, that was probably 5-6 years ago now, so I didn't have the money to fix the mower, and so I had to park it. And then about 2 years ago, I ran into a little extra money, so I decided I needed to work on this and try to get it running. Well, the original carburetor, had been burnt and had melted plastic and all that. So I replaced it with a Chinese carburetor, which, by the way, it worked okay. But the issue that I ran into was the coil wire on the original coil was melted, and I couldn't really repair it or even, make it enough to halfway work. So I found this coil that would kind of fit on there, and I kind of rigged it on there, and then I had my inline spark checker hooked into the coil and onto that, and I crunked it up on the video like that and ran it. But that's not a good. That wasn't going to ever be a long-term solution. So I had to just kind of step away from the mower for a while until I got some extra money. So stepping away turned into about 2 years. So this morning, I guess I just got a wild hair growing. Y'all can finish that statement out. I probably shouldn't say that on YouTube, but I decided that today was the day that I was going to get that mower running again to where I could use it. I called around the mower shops and I got me a motor. I found me a motor, a brand spanking new motor. I didn't buy a used one. So we done that. I got that motor and I got it put on there. So let's go over there and have a look at that. That's enough of looking at this old rusty, burnt up thing. But we will save this motor until I can find another junk motor with a coil, and I'll probably want to go ahead and try to put another Briggs & Stratton carburetor on it, because it fit and it worked, but the bolts they don't protrude enough through that carburetor to be able to have 2 threads sticking out like they should. So I mean, even that carburetor, it was eventually gonna rattle and fall off, But all right, let's go look at the mower. Okay, YouTube, you know, installing a mower. I'm sorry to walk so close to the camera. Installing a motor on a lawnmower is actually pretty straightforward. I'm not sure if y'all can see that. Just step back there and have a look. See. Yeah, well, y'all can see a little bit of it, but not enough. Installing a motor. Installing a motor is pretty straightforward. You just unhook the wires there from the motor, unhook the main wire, power wire to the starter, unbolt the 4 bolts, and the bolt for that holds the drive pulley on. You know, and that's really that simple. Then you just lift it off. Well, you know, we did that. And we didn't have any issues or anything with it, so you know there really was nothing there to film for that, so you know I didn't film it because you know there was nothing to film. So you know, when I set this thing on fire, the original gas tank melted and was leaking. And it's an obsolete part that I cannot find online anywhere. I had to just kind of jerry-rig this tank on there, which, you know, it's fine. It's fine. I don't like it, but it's just going to have to work until I can find a better solution for it, you know. I mean, that's just all there is to it. So, you know, it's running. It's no longer throwing the belt. The idler tension pulley that was bad on it's been replaced. And by the way, I've replaced that twice with Chinese pulleys, and they tend to lock up within a week. If you buy the Chinese pulleys, go ahead and pop the seals out of the bearing in it, spray all the Chinese fish grease or whatever you want to call it out of it with, you know, carb cleaner or just whatever solvent you happen to have, and then go put in that red high temp bearing grease and put the seals back in. That's what I did. Which, hold on. This is one of the, I hope y'all can see that. This is one of those Chinese pulleys that I bought. I made a mistake buying this one because the opening's too big. But I never used this thing, as you can see. But I did, you know, put it under the mower and put the bolt on it to where it wouldn't get lost. And just in 2 years of sitting, it locked up. I mean, it's locked up tight, and it was never even used. So anyway, you just take your knife, preferably a sewing needle, and just kind of pop that seal out, clean the fish grease out that they use, and then replace it with high temp bearing grease and put the seal back in. Yeah, but anyway, that's that. So the only thing that I've got left to do to this now is to fix this. I will probably just rewire this thing to where, because you know some of these wires are melted. It had, when I stopped using it, it was kind of hard to start it with the key, and sometimes it wouldn't start. I don't remember if it was a wiring issue or if the ignition switch was bad. But you know, it's been sitting in the weather now for 5-6 years, and we know this switch is bad for sure now. They just don't like getting rainwater and junk in them. So, you know, it's bad. Alright. We'll, you know, replace the ignition switch and rewire it, which, as you can see there, it's had wiring work done to it before. And, this is a mower, this motor, which, by the way, is a Briggs & Stratton Intech 500cc motor, which is like, well, they say 17, the hell, I can't read that little My eyes ain't gonna let me see that little shit. It's 17.5. It's 500 cc, 17.5 gross horsepower at 3,800 RPMs. So, you know, this thing's way overpowered now. It originally had a 12 horse motor on it from the factory. So, you know, but yeah, I'm happy with that. They actually work better when they're a little overpowered. But this motor is so much newer than this frame that the wiring, it isn't wired for having this little box on it here, which is essentially a voltage regulator. I'm gonna have to figure out how to wire it for that voltage regulator. I don't believe that I'm undecided on whether or not I'm going to film that or not. Not because there's already a lot of videos on YouTube just showing how to do this, and well, honestly, they could probably those videos are probably better than anything that I could do with just a cell phone and a tripod. Plus, I've never actually had to rewire a lawnmower. When they come into the shop years ago and they wouldn't start or whatnot, it was usually just a dirty connection, or the switch was bad, or a bad battery. We never had actual wiring issues to sort out. So, you know. Anyway, it's up, it's running, and I guess I got to give y'all a little update on the other projects. Okay, update on the other projects. The little 30-inch cut rear engine Murray rider we called Project Red Wiggles. That we certainly are going to finish that, but I had to get back on the 97 mower because the springtime's come, and that was going to be the quickest and easiest to fix, you know. Plus, it's a bigger cut, you know. So, you know, we're certainly going to be getting back on that hopefully pretty soon. You know, I found an engine for it, like an 11 horsepower engine. I found one of those online that I'm going to try to get for like 300 bucks. It's Chinese, but they have some pretty decent reviews, so. Then the issue with that's going to be getting a gas tank on it, because that old Briggs that's on it now has the gas tank that kind of mounts on the side of the pull cover, fan shroud, whatever you want to call it. That motor that I'm buying's kind of got a standalone deal, so you know that's going to be something to figure out. Plus, you know, blowing it all apart and painting it. It'd be spread out for months. The woodworking videos, yeah, as much as I want to really get on those and hammer out a few of those videos, the prices of lumber, they're gonna go up. I'm what my boss at work's telling me, that they're going to go up next week. So, you know, they're going up again on them next week. I don't know where he gets that information, but, you know, that's what he told me. I feel like I'm going to get priced right out of that business. But there is still a couple things that I need to build that I don't want to build out of scrap lumber. You know, that's my gun cabinet. I certainly want to build that because I need one. I'm tired of my guns down at Michelle's. I'm tired of those guns just leaning up in a corner, you know. I'd rather them be in a cabinet, you know, where they're nice and sorted, and, you know, have a place to store ammo instead of across the room in an old dresser drawer that I don't use anymore. And then after that, I'm kind of at a loss for what project I want to do. I was thinking of potentially a motorized bike, you know, but you know those motors, those motors, they run, but they're junk. You're always constantly having to tinker with them, you know. So I just want something to play with. I don't want to have to work on it all the time. But I've got another idea for a project that I've been thinking about, which I guess I'll take you guys over there and show y'all that. So let's go have a look at that. Okay, YouTube. I was thinking of taking this old riding mower. I mean, guys, y'all, this thing's just absolutely wore slam out. You see the front of it's all beaten. I don't know how in the hell somebody would have done that, all that damage. You know, it's been, when I bought it, it was supposed to run, and well, it don't run, and it's because the valves needed adjusted. I opened them up to try to adjust them, and somebody else had already been in there. Then I got noticing all the oil all over the thing, and so I figured, well, okay, this thing's obviously been used and abused pretty badly. So I got thinking, well, maybe I need to check everything else out on it. So we looked at everything else, and all the deck lift mechanism under there is just all wore out and everything, and just everything under there would, you know, have to be replaced. And I'm just not looking to have to put that much money into that thing. It just isn't worth it to me. The parts, however, are worth something. You know, we've got 4 wheels there that we can use. We'll probably salvage the belts off of it. The spindles are actually decent, so, you know, I'll certainly unbolt them, assuming the bolts don't break off in them. The muffler will salvage off of it. The starter will salvage, and the battery it actually had a good battery in it, although that battery is too small to turn. I need at least over 260. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a 160 cranking amp battery. That 17 is going to require more than that. You know, it won't. It's just not going to turn it over. But you know, we got a battery in there, and you know, parts. The seat's still good, so we can use that for something. I don't know what, but we'll use it for something. But anyway, yeah, the ignition switch is bad on it, and probably the starter solenoid is bad. But anyway, my thoughts for this is to just strip the body off of it and let all that junk just go to the junkyard and strip the deck off of it, and maybe sell the deck if it's worth selling or whatnot, you know, and keep the frame and try to build a go-kart out of the frame. But you know, it's been done before, so I mean, I know it's possible. You know, that's just a thought for that. I've not completely made my mind up if I'm even going to do anything with this thing. You know, it's just a thought. But anyway, let me know what y'all think about the go-kart idea, and you know, anything we've mentioned in this video. If y'all have any suggestions or comments or anything, you know, feel free to go ahead and you know, leave me a comment. Alright, YouTube, that's gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. If y'all would, please take the time to like, subscribe, comment, and share this video. You know, I could probably could probably do more videos if I got to 2,000 subscribers to where I could actually monetize. Although, whether YouTube allows me to monetize may be a different story. But we'll never know until we get to 2,000. You know, I'm sure with me being who I am and my avatar being what it is, I'm sort of suspecting that they're not going to allow me to monetize. But you know, if they do, great. If they don't, they don't. You know, I'm not changing the avatar. You know, I'll follow the other rules. I don't, you know, keep the language clean, you know, and all that. Not, you know, I'm not gonna do a whole lot of, you know, gun videos, because, you know, YouTube hates gun channels. You know, so I'm certainly not gonna do that. Well, at least not very often. There may be a few shooting videos here and there, but I'm not going to show you how to work on them or anything like that anymore. But you know, but anyway, that's going to be it for this video. If y'all go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment, I'd surely appreciate it. Alright, bye YouTube. Thank y'all for watching.